Oh, hello, me hearties. A very, very good evening to you. It is me, Scottie McClue, live on YouTube just for you, saying Dinky-Doo. We are live streaming and podcasting big style. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you've just joined us, of course, and I hope that you are ready to do big, big business tonight because Scottie McClue, the first lord of the internet, and of course, the world's top broadcaster and the world's most humble man. Just here at your service, I say, live on YouTube, and say Dinky-Doo to every single one of you. Your job, of course, as always, is to spread the word, to tell 10, to tell 10, to tell 10, to tell 10 about Scottie McClue, live on YouTube, just for you, Dinky-Doo. Let's go, says Idnan. Hello, Idnan. Hello, Scottie, says Elliot. Elliot Roger, good evening and a very, very warm welcome. Good evening, Scottie. This is the wonderful Joseph Aitken. Welcome, Joe. Lovely to have you with us. And Dinky-Doo from me, Scottie McClue. And of course, from the rest of the world, from the international community who will be watching right now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. People are watching in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the Arctic, the Antarctic, Russia, China, Japan. Tremendous stuff. Evening, Scottie. Who have we got here? Terry. Dinky-Doo, Terry. Lovely to have you with us. And J-Dog has joined us. Dinky-Doo, Scottie, how are you? Very well. Lovely to have you with us. Elliot says, hello, Scottie. Hello, Elliot. Excellent. And welcome, welcome, guys. This is a good time to catch on. Excellent. Thank you for all your support during the day. I see that we're now getting down to some proper business, and the world is starting to hear that Scottie McClue is live just for you, saying Dinky-Doo. There we are. I'm laid up in bed with tonsillitis. I'm looking forward to tonight's show. Great chat to tonight's chat. Thank you, Joseph Aitken. We hope that your tonsillitis leaves you soon and that you're okay. Can everybody start liking the stream, guys? You know, I mean, we have hundreds and hundreds watching over the course of the night, so we want lots of liking and lots of subscribing as well. What have you done today, Scottie? Very, very busy day today. A lot of paperwork. And of course, I work from home as well, so I'm monitoring websites all day and what have you. And we've also managed to find time for a little bit of social media. So there we are. All right, Scottie La from Liverpool, says ABC. Hello, ABC. Lovely to have you with us. We love the bones of your on here. Great stuff. And give my regards to Liverpool, all the wonderful Scousers who are watching right now. Dinky-Doo, Scottie. Dinky-Doo, La. Fantastic. Right, there we go. Lots of likes, please. Come on. We need another half dozen of these right now. So if you're watching the stream, then you can like the stream. And of course, you can share the stream to tell everybody that we are live. I am, in fact, going to just be doing that right now. So there you are. That's what's going to be happening. Believe it or not. Oh, you do believe it, don't you? You know what is going on here. Fantastic. So there you are. And we're podcast number 7 tonight. Wonderful. Podcast number 7. Can you believe it, guys? How's the weather today? This is Elliot Roger. Well, here in McClue Towers, it is roasting. Absolutely roasting. Hello there, says the wonderful Gordon Robertson. Hello, Gordon and Dinky-Doo. Thank you very much for asking me to dance earlier. Fantastic. Did you work out what a lady's excuse me is, Gordon? So there you are. You maybe know. It might have been something that you used to do back in the day. But we don't like to say that in case it's not something that you did back in the day. So there we are. Does anybody know what a lady's excuse me is? Do tell, I say. Right, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to get all this up and start sharing like mad, and if you could do the same. Hello there, this is Gordon. Fantastic. I hope you've had a good day, Gordon, and that you're ready to do some superb broadcasting and podcasting tonight. We might even get you on the Skype That would be rather good. Scottie.McClue. I'll get the Skype going. Wonderful stuff. Gordon says, a lady's excuse me is probably when a woman lets one off. No, tut, tut, tut. Raise your game, sir. It has nothing to do with when a woman lets one off or lets one away. It's a lady's excuse me. It's a dance. Wonderful. There we are. I'm going to have to take a comfort break already. It's incredible, isn't it? Woo! It's so incredibly hot in the studio at McClue Towers, I say. I ask you. Wonderful stuff. Right, there we are. We're in business, so let's get this sharing now. What to do, guys, when it comes up on the Scottie McClue YouTube site, you will see a little red oblong that says live. If you click on that, you'll get the full works. So when a lady says to a man, are you dancing? Yes. And then what do you say? Are you asking? I'm asking. I'm dancing. Fantastic. So that was that from our old friends. Yes. Ricky Fulton and Jack Milroy, Francie and Josie. Tremendous stuff. Are you dancing? Are you asking? I'm asking. I'm dancing. Wonderful. Right. Here I go. So we'll get this shared as soon as possible. And of course, you must do the same. You must do the same. I say, I'm having to look round. Let me move everything along here a bit. Right, I'll have to put that over there just now. We'll get organized, you know. I can see great things happening. That seems to be stuck. What's going on here? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Now you're talking. That's fantastic. Yes, well, you've always been talking. I don't know why people say now you're talking. What we all want to know is the photo of you in the kilt. Were you going commando that evening? Always go commando. Yes, absolutely. Always. There we are. It's the thing to do. All the Scottish regiments. There I remember saying to a senior army officer, I said, do you wear anything? And I said, never. So there we are. We'd love to hear you having a chat with Alex Jones, says Joseph Aitken. Yes, I've watched Alec on many an occasion. Wonderful, wonderful YouTuber. Quite incredible. So there you go. And there's a few of us out there, at the podcasting. This is number 7 for Scottie McClue. So there you go. I don't know if I've actually put that up tonight. It was all a bit of a rush tonight, a wee bit of a rush to get to you tonight. So many things to do and so little time to do it in. Do you find that? So there we are. No problem at all. Right, I'm just going to share that now, and we'll see if we can get everybody bopping along and rocking along with us. If you can all do the same, guys, and tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10. So there we go, Joseph. Do some impressions, Scottie, please. Who would you like me to do an impersonation of? An impersonation, big style, of somebody. There we are. Scottie, what's happening, says Scrub said. Scrub said what's happening is you're here, and we're talking to the world nationally and internationally and locally as well, of course. How good is that? We are podcasting, live streaming live on YouTube, the big one, the one everyone is talking about and the one everyone is listening to. Now, I'm going to share this to the newsfeed and the story and let them know. What did we say it was? Podcast 7. So Scottie McClue, and I'll just pop this up so I can put live now. I think that's important. Live now. There we are. Now. Excellent. So Scottie McClue, live now. Yes. Oh, that looks fabulous. Shall I put an exclamation mark? What do you think? I think we like a wee exclamation mark, don't we? So I'll maybe put it after live now rather than before. There we are. Click, click, clickety, click. Wonderful stuff. Right, live now. So that's us. And I shall put podcast number, what did we agree? Podcast 7, is that right? Podcast 7, right? I'll put a wee hashtag there and podcast 7. Right, that's excellent. So that's going out there. Now, I see light from your windows reflecting off the glass of one of your photos, so you've eventually had your windows washed. Yes, remember, Gordon Robertson, any negative comments, you're just a bit jealous that my windows gleam. And I think you remember probably walking past my flat in Maryhill and seeing your reflection in the window. You thought, my goodness, that man knows how to keep his windows. And he does his step as well. So there we go, fantastic. Right, I'll just do that and copy in, and then we're sending this out. We'll post this out, and that might remind one or two people we are live right now. Do Mr. Mannering. You've spelt it as well, Mr. Mainwaring. I could do Captain Square for you from Dad's Army. Do you not remember? He used to go, Mainwaring, one or two things about your men. Yes, all right, Square. Fantastic, Captain Square. I used to hear him on the phone. They used to say, Captain Square on the phone for you, Captain Mannering. Oh, yes. Yes, not a consonant in his language. A call from Captain Square. Who remembers that in Dad's Army? Or was it the Colonel that used to call? I remember it. He's talking that down the phone. It's wonderful stuff. Put 10 exclamation marks, says J-Dog. Good one, J-Dog. I should have you working with me. Ian Quinn. Evening, Scotty. Dinky-Doo, please give a wee mention to two great steamer fans listening in Bishopton. Ian and Carrie. Ian and Carrie in the Bishop's Toon. Excellent, wonderful, lovely to have you watching with us, joining us as viewers to Scottie McClue's podcast, number 7, live on YouTube, streaming for you, and say Dinky-Doo. Welcome. We love Bishopton. I hadn't been in Bishopton for a while. And I took the scenic road. There was a jam up on the motorway. And I was going from Greenock to Glasgow, and I thought, I'll just pop up through Bishopton. Now, when I was wee, Bishopton was a village, really, I would have said. It had the ordnance factory and the ordnance houses, but it was, a sort of sprawling village. That sort of idea. And Erskine was just a wee hamlet. It had, of course, the hospital, but it was a wee hamlet at the time. And I saw that Bishopton it's like a town now. It's huge. There we go. Hi, Scotty. What's Ian Quinn got me into now, says Ian. Ian 429, welcome, welcome, welcome. Lovely to have you with us, and you will enjoy this. You will enjoy this. I'll tell you that's an order. There we are. So fantastic stuff. Ian and Carrie in Bishopton. Lovely, and love to Bishopton. Fantastic. I went into what had been the old hospital. Beautiful big hotel. Tremendous. There we go. Guy on the piano and what have you. So there you are. So I think you will enjoy this, Ian and Carrie. I think this will be right up your street, right up your patati, as we say in the west of Scotland. Fantastic. If you've just joined us, a very warm welcome, everybody. You're watching Scottie McClue. We are, of course, live on the big one. We're just getting fired up here. We're getting the sharing done. So we're off to share in our page that I manage, Scottie McClue. There's a page called Dinky-Doo. I manage that one as well. Right? Oh, I'm managing okay, don't worry. Right, that's that. And we'll post to the Scottie McClue page. And you can get on there and like everything you see with Scottie McClue on it. Share it, like it. Love it. Share it as widely as you can, guys. And then we will be able to build things up. All right. So you were mentioning the Sir Walter Scott. She wasn't wooden. She's steel. I wasn't sure if she was wood. So she's steel and sadly has boiler troubles. Well, like our old girl, the Waverley, I mean, the Sir Walter Scott, I don't know how new these boilers will be. Are our engines Rankin and Blackmore? Can you tell me, Ian? I know the Maid of the Lochs were Rankin and Blackmore. Oh. See, if I remember rightly, what they did with the Maid of the Loch, they built her at, was it Denny's that built her? and they built her and then to Loch Lomond side and assembled her like one giant mechano kit. Fantastic. Hi, says a good pizza. Hi, a good pizza. Sorry, I wasn't here yesterday. You were here yesterday, a good pizza. You joined us late in the day, as we say, but you were here. There's no doubt about that. So there you are. If you've just joined us, folks, a very, very warm welcome. Can everybody like the stream? So, click on the little red rectangle that says live, get it onto full screen, and then you'll see like. Well, you might be one before full screen, yes. Yes, I joined late but left 3 minutes later because I had to go. You had to go, a good pizza. Yes, but it's good that you're here now. Excellent, and we've got everything sorted. And old McClue's got his aqua. Oh, that's lush. Can everybody share, please, as much as you possibly can? Sharing and sharing and sharing and telling 10 to tell 10. I want to get these numbers up, guys. I know it's early days. We've only been at it a week. But nevertheless, from little acorns, great oaks grow. And that's what we like. So we need to get going here. Get everybody sorted out. Wonderful. And we'll share to the story. Now, that one is going to a page. So it won't have, the page will have a story. Yes, it will. I'll send it out to Dinky-Doo and let everybody know as well. I think that's important. Fantastic. And if you can all do the same, guys. Oh, and I'll also share to YouTube. We forgot. We're sharing to YouTube. There it goes. Tremendous stuff. Post. Right. That should just remind people. Perhaps it's a bit early. Folk are getting into radio and television and stuff, and they're not realizing that McClue's live because it's early. They're used to having me on late at night, but I think the hours are suiting the dedicatees. I think the reason boats are called she is that, like humans, she, as they get older, their boilers start to go. The boilers start to fail and eventually need removed. You're a bit harsh, Gordon. You really are. Are you sharing your link to Facebook groups? I don't think folk are finding you easily on here. Well, no, they won't, Gordon, because remember, we've only got 2,100 subscribers. So, folk aren't going to find it unless it's shared. They'll find it easily once they get the link. And if you can be good enough to get the link out. Engines. Ian Quinn says, engines, Matthew Paul at Renfrew. Ingalls built the Maid of the Loch. A.J. Ingalls at Point House at Govan there. Is that right? Meccano style transportation of the bits to the slipway to Ballach by steam locomotive was from Kelvin up to Ballach. So there we are. From Kelvin up to Ballach. Tell us more. Tell us more. Transportation of the bits. Because you can't get very far up the Kelvin. From the Kelvin to the steam locomotive. From the Kelvin to the slipway at Ballach. Are you sure Rankin and Blackmore didn't do the engines for the Maid? Yes. Could you just check that one out for me? I mean, I'm sure you'll know, Ian. But I had it in my mind that they'd done the engines for the Maid. Did they do the engines for the Sir Walter Scott? Back out of live chat if you can't find like and other controls. So there you are. So back out of live chat and you should see like and the other controls. Absolutely. Yes, there we are. So Gordon, there's no point saying people aren't finding you easily on here. It's brand new. And I am sharing to the Facebook groups, but remember that not every platform likes other platforms being shared and might not share it out to the same extent, if you get my meaning. Hence the code that you said, oh, we didn't understand that. Wonderful. So there we go. But yes, come back out of live chat if you can't find the other controls, guys. And you should do the and tell 10 to tell 10. Can everybody like the stream? share the stream. I'm just going to share right now. And we've got a bit of sharing going. I'll share on the old Twitter. What hashtags do you want tonight on the tweet? You have to decide and tell me what hashtags would you like on your tweet. So there we are. Isn't that lovely? Am I not just the bees and knees? There we go. No, I haven't put in the podcast number. Yes, naughty me. So there we are. I'll take that lot out. Give you all a wee chance. Right, so that's gone. There we go. And you should be getting that now. It's going out on Twitter. Follow me at Scottie McClue on Twitter. If you've got a Twitter account, follow me at Scottie McClue. Very, very important. Right, what have I got here? I'm just going to see if I can get you something nice as a wee picture. I think that's rather good, isn't it? A wee picture. Give you a wee bit of a smile. There's Scottie there. We'll put Scottie up. I call it the Scottie Kitchener. It's like Lord Kitchener, do you know what I mean? With all that. Wonderful stuff. Right. And just put that up there. And pop in a hashtag. Wonderful. If you can all do the sharing, that's us back in business. I'll take out that and I'll send it now. Right. There's a tweet gone up for you. Fantastic. We're telling everybody on Twitter. And as I say, if you're on Twitter, at Scottie McClue, capital S, small C-O-T-T-I-E, the McClue, capital M, small C, capital C, L-U-E, at Scottie McClue, the wee ampersand. Whilst we're talking ships, what can you tell us about the sugar boat? Well, the sugar boat, I take it you're talking about the one that's on her side, off the tail of the bank in the middle of the Clyde, opposite Greenock, between Greenock and Helensburgh. That's the Captianus. And I think it was something like, was it 71 or 72? Oh no, here's Ian. Sugarboat Captianus sank at the tail of the bank, January 1974. I remember it very well. She dragged her anchor and then went on to the sandbank. So there we are. I'm pretty sure she dragged her anchor or her mooring, something like that, and she just sort of rolled over. But I'm pretty sure, did they not get most of the crew off? Back again, I've been away fly posting. Gordon Robertson. Yes, you keep away from the fly. That's what I say. There we go. Wonderful stuff, but nice to have you back with us. Scottie McClue, radio live chat, Scottie UK listeners, Dinky-Doo, Range Rover, says ABC. How superb. Give me all that. Let's just see who's come up here, because what I've done is I've posted it, and we'll just see. 20 people have seen it already. Fantastic. There we are. Small numbers, guys, because from little acorns the great oaks grow. She wasn't in any major shipping lane, so she remains at the tail. But do you not think it's unattractive when she just capsized? I can remember going out with a small boat with an outboard and going round her. On a day like today, it was a lovely summer's day and she was huge and you could just go around and see her. But it's quite ugly, you know. I mean, could they not have blown her up? So there we go. Cost a lot, I suppose. Posting your link all over the internet. You're very good, Gordon. So you're getting Scottie McClue 1. Let everybody know, please. That tweet's doing very well, guys. Never a dull moment on here. If you've just joined us, a very warm welcome. You're watching Scottie McClue and we're live streaming on YouTube. Just for you, please subscribe. Tap the bell so that you will get notifications. We're live every night at 8 o'clock through until 10, so a couple of quick hours, I say. And if you can like the stream, share it and subscribe. Maid of the Loch, yes, we're Rankins. The Sir Walter Scott, Matthew Pollitt Rentworth. Thank you, Ian. I wasn't sure if I was losing my touch, but I was pretty sure that the Maid of the Loch were Rankin and Blackmore's. Hi, Scottie. I hope you're doing well, says the Potato King. We're doing fantastically well, Potato King. This has just been a revelation for people, and I'm getting so much positive feedback. That's why I'm doing it, because I want to make this the go-to place for chat during the lockdown. So there we go. Oh, quick comfort break. Whew. It's roasting in here in the studio at McClue Towers. We love it. Fantastic. Thank you for that, Gordon. If everybody can take the link, right-click on it and send it to everybody you know, guys. That will just be amazing. Right? I'm going to pop it up on Reddit as well. So lovely to hear from you, Potato King. I hope you're keeping well, I say. So there we go. Right, I'll choose a community, see if we get this up. There might be one. Yay. Let's see if that one comes up. All right, and I shall post this. Lovely. Right. Oh, that's fantastic. Yes, good. Right, I've got one. So I'm just going to post this, and we'll hope that it gets posted. Wonderful stuff. Right. I'll put a bit of text in there. Lovely. That's us, and we shall post. Good. Off it jolly well goes, I say. So, yes, that should be fine, shouldn't it? We've got the tags. So there we go. And we'll just put live now. Wonderful. And off we go. Excellent. I thank you very much. Now then, I found a swingers group. Will I post your link there too? No. Stop, Gordon. Raise your game, sir. Wonderful to hear from everybody, by the way. Dinky-Doo, if you've just joined us, a welcome. Can you give us a thumbs up like, please? You'll see it down at the bottom right of your screen. And tell everybody about it. Post and post. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Gordon Robertson, you're a wee shocker. So there you go. Fantastic. What have we got here? I'll just do all that as well. That's excellent. And put that up there. Good. Right. What are the above requirements it's telling me to? I don't know what's going on here. It's telling me, are you sure you've got all the above requirements? What on earth? So there we go. It should be. Right. I'll keep doing this, guys. I'll keep doing hashtags. Everybody's into hashtags these days. So wonderful. Hashtags. Everything seems to be a hashtag. The glorious 1st of June. Glorious 1st of June was actually a sea battle. So there we are. Wonderful stuff. Right. What on earth do you do? Right, so I've got all that. Right, so I'd need to read all that. I'll just post and see what happens. Excellent stuff. If you can all do the same. Soft drinks. Do you remember Lawson's of Greenock and their classic Clyde Steamers labels? Small and large bottles. The colour paintings were brilliant. I remember Lawson's very well. And my grandfather was an aerated water manufacturer. And he used to actually run a bit of the business for Mr. Lawson, who was originally Mr. Larsen, Olav Larsen. He was a Norwegian, and his lemonade was absolutely legendary. Now, let me see if I can remember. The Grapefruit Crush had the Queen Mary on it. The Dandelion and Burdock had the St. Columba. I think it was Lemon Crush, had the Duchess of Hamilton. And what else did we have? sure we had the Loch Fyne on the cola, something like that. Just absolutely amazing. The lemonade was maybe the Duchess of Hamilton, was it? Oh my goodness, you're going back a bit. Lawson's lemonade in Greenock, fantastic. I believe Scotty already has his kilt on. Fantastic. Jamie, he's not playing music tonight. Scotty's going to dance for us instead. He told me earlier in a Facebook post. How amazing is that? Would you credit it? We've been half an hour already. We haven't even started. Oh dear, I think I've spoiled the surprise. Well, not going to do it now, Gordon. You've ruined it for everyone. It was to be a surprise, me doing a wee Highland dance. A couple of interesting ones. So there you are. We might have a certain, tonight, of all nights, we might have a certain Mr. Martin on. So there you are. I'm looking at that. Wonderful. So I'll just, I'll come out of that just now, and we'll leave that. Good. And we'll see if we can get something going here for you. Wonderful, wonderful. Now, if everybody can share and share and share and share and share. Yes, you have spoiled the surprise is the answer, Gordon, naughty boy. Right, what do we got here? I'm just trying to find... Oh, yes, let's choose that one. Let's choose that one. That would be nice. There we are. Oh, yes. Right. Just posting, guys. Let everybody know what is what. So that should have gone now. Ah, wonderful. That should have gone now. Wonderful. There we are. Now we've done it. Yes, so you should be seeing that on Reddit. I hope Mr. Martin behaves himself tonight. So Mr. Martin, who complained that Scott FM shut down, I remember he was going to report you. Absolutely, yes. So we might hear a little bit of that tonight if everybody is very, very good and behaves themselves. I may look that up and get that for you. Excellent. Right, what else is happening here? Oh my goodness me. Right, if everybody could share, if you've just joined us, welcome, welcome, welcome. Tony, good to have you with us, welcome. Play us Highland Laddie instead. I remember I was very privileged to be the chieftain at the Bears Den and Milgai Highland Games, and had a wonderful time. They always got a famous chieftain. So maybe they broke with tradition for Scottie McClue, but I had a wonderful, wonderful day as the chieftain of the Bears Den and Milgai Highland Games. And the chieftain's salute at the Highland Games is always Highland Laddie twice over, with all the pipes and drums, about 100 bands, forming a hollow square. And you take the salute on the platform as the chieftain's salute. Wonderful stuff. The Waverley was on the Limeade, the Ginny Deans on the Iron Brew. The Hovercraft was on the Cream Soda. Now, was that the wee Saunders Hovercraft, the wee SR? The QE2 was on the Orange. You were right about the others. Fantastic. So we had the St. Columba on the Dandelion and Burdock. The Maid of Argyll was on the Pineapple, and the Glen Sannox on the Strawberry. No, I have to correct you. I think the Glen Sannox might have been on the Pineapple, because we didn't get Strawberry. But I do remember the Glen Sannox, and I remember it was, I'm pretty sure, a yellow juice, a yellow-coloured juice that was in the Lawson's lemonade. Fantastic. Wonderful stuff. Centre band, drums to beat late, yes. The drum corps of the centre band will beat time. That was the announcements that read, you know. Pipes and drums will now form a hollow square for the chieftain's salute. We will start by the centre and the drums of the centre band only, I always said that, only will beat time. There we are, pipes and drums at the ready. By the centre, chieftain salute. Quick march. Oh, and very often, it never happened at the Bearsden and O'Guy Highland Games, but I have attended the Highland Games now, bearing in mind the bands are from all over the world. And there was very often one band that hadn't been counting and carried on playing when the rest had stopped. What a riddy for them, wonderful stuff. But the superb bands, discipline, fantastic. Who has been very generous to me? What is going on here? Somebody has just made a donation. Own up. So there you go. So there we are. It's free, by the way, to view the page and the live stream, guys. Totally free. But at your discretion, if you want to buy me a hot chocolate, there is a little button that says, buy me a hot chocolate. There we are. I dare you. So there we go. So if you want to put the price of a hot chocolate in there, I would thoroughly appreciate that. That will be put to very good use. But somebody has just super chatted me a serious amount. I'm just trying to work out what it is. Is it £1.90? Is it £1,900? I don't know. I think you need to be careful playing bagpipes. If you have too much to drink, it can be messy. It can sound terrible. I'm still listening like a pipe band falling downstairs. I'm still listening, but I might not chat for the next 5 minutes, says Gordon. I'm putting stuff in the electric pressure cooker and making a mushroom soup. Cream of. You be careful. Jamie Est, it's you wee rascal. You've sent me £1.99. Very, very kind and very much appreciated, Jamie. Thank you. What a lovely, lovely thought. Do you know, guys, it really is very humbling when I see that pop up that somebody said, get the old boy a coffee. Thank you. Lovely, lovely thought. There we are. I'll dig the labels out later and we'll debate them all. Yes, but I seem to remember the Glenn Sannox on something. I'm wondering if it was an unusual one. Did we say Grapefruit Crush was one of the Duchesses? Or there was the Queen Mary. So there we go. But I feel, but I could be totally wrong. I don't see these buttons, but I'm on the phone app, says Gordon. No, don't you worry about that, Gordon. There are buttons up at the top, and it says, I think it might be if you look at About. If you look at About, you get all the bio for Scottie McClue. Guys, who can tell me, where are the buttons for Buy Me a Hot Chocolate on the YouTube site? So there on Scottie McClue's site. Good evening, Scottie. Nice to see you. Jerry Nicol, it's always lovely to see you and Dinky-Doo. Jamie Est is giving me a wave. Jamie Est, you're naughty. You're precious pennies. But it is very much appreciated. I might just buy a hot chocolate with that and not do any advertising with it. A $sign next to the text box. So there you are, says Jamie Est. Jamie Est, did you click on the $sign? Or was that for the text box at Super Chat? Excellent, yes. Can you also see Buy Me a Hot Chocolate? Can everybody see that one? I'll need to log on with my iPad or laptop. Gordon Robertson, what are you like? Well ahead of the game, you. Nothing gets past you, I say. If you've just joined us, folks, and you're wondering what on earth is going on your YouTube, you're watching Scottie McClue, the first lord of the internet, the one-top broadcaster, 36 years experience of international broadcasting, and here I am building up our live stream on YouTube during the lockdown because I want this to be the go-to place for chat. And if you look today, we posted what the channel is about. So please have a read at about and tell me what you think. George Main says, I used to think you were rubbish years ago, and I haven't changed my mind. Well, George, what can we do but sympathize with you, right? You do get people of limited intelligence who struggle to understand Scottie McClue. But I notice you're still with us, and that's a good sign. So there's hope for you. All right, so there we are. And lovely to have you with us, George. Welcome, welcome. So there we go. Everybody, if I had £1 for everybody who said I was rubbish, I would be a billionaire. So there we are. Scottie, listened to you during the 1990s. Nice to see you on YouTube. I thank you, Shelley, because as I say, I know it's a bit of a shock when you see McClue because most folk are used to listening. So there we are. But as I say, I don't mind people saying I used to think you're rubbish because you do get a lot of people out there. They have a very low IQ and, they find Scottie McClue and they struggle. But not to worry, at least they're with us. Jamie Esther's smiling away there. Scottie, never found you to be rubbish, but must confess to being a teenage caller. Shelley B, we love it. Actually, do you not remember? They used to ring Helen and I would say, you should get yourself a life, lovey. You go, no, that should get life. That should get life, Scottie. Fantastic. Remember when we'd been knocking the dropped bums ladies in Barnsley? And I went out and it was a Barnsley lady that was running the lunchtime van and she refused to serve me. She went, are you him? I said, what do you mean him? Him from Hallam. I said, yeah, that'll be it. So there we go. And she goes, right, well, you're not having it. I said, just a couple of bacon butties, love. No, go on, clear off. She didn't say clear. She said something else, I think. Maybe my hearing wasn't up to it. Shelley says, our whole school used to listen and try to call in. Now, Shelley, back me up here. Let's have a positive vibe for old McClue because I was on Red Rose Radio in Preston and I think of the great John Myers who sadly left us. He passed away a year ago today and he was barely 60. Lovely guy. And he and I started at Border Television. And then I went down to join him at Red Rose Radio in Preston in 1992. Huge success, massive figures, because they had a very famous guy before me, a gentleman called Alan Beswick, who is an outstanding broadcaster. Very, very high figures he had, and very difficult to follow that. Anyway, McClue struggled by and managed, with very big listening figures at Red Rose Gold. When Scott FM started, well, you know the history about that, massive audiences, beating every station, including Capital Radio in London in the evenings. And all the schools used to listen to Scottie McClue. Then, when some dafty came along and did away with McClue for absolutely no sensible reason at all, nothing I had said or done, I went down to Hallam FM. All the school children in Yorkshire listening to Scottie McClue and Hallam FM. Then after Hallam, I went across the Pennines to Century Radio in Manchester. All the schools in the northwest of England, 5.4 million. It became so popular, we put all the big radio stations together. We had about almost 10 million of a transmission area listening every night. It was huge. Now, surely there must be something there. What do you think? Do tell. Right, sharing, guys. Thank you so much for clicking the $sign. That was lovely of you, Jamie. Did you sail on any of the turbines of the Isle of Man Steam Packet Company? Ian Quinn. I think you and I must be septic. The answer to your question is no. But being an enthusiast I looked into them all, and they looked gorgeous. Now you had the Manxman, you had the Lady of Man, you had the Manx Maid, you had the, don't tell me, it'll all come, you had the Snaefell. That's where we got it. I'm pretty sure with the Snaefell. Yes, with the Snaefell. And sometimes the Manx steamers, I believe, left from Scotland from Ardrossan, was that right? And there were big turbine steamers of the 30s, big versions really. Now, I don't know if Denny built them or whatever, but see, in a summer's afternoon like the weather we've got now, they were all sitting moored up at Douglas, taking thousands over to the Isle of Man TT. And of course, I broadcast to the Isle of Man, both on border television and on Red Rose Radio. And I remember one night saying how dangerous motorbikes were and that we should ban them. And my phones virtually went on fire with people wanting to discuss this because we were being heard clear as a bell on a beautiful, clear summer's night on the Isle of Man, and it was during the TT. People were going absolutely berserk. So I didn't sail on them. And apparently it was a very, very rough crossing. But I got a beautiful book on them with pictures. Now, the Manxman, this is very strange. The Manxman, huge big turbine steamer. Now, as we know, all the Duchesses, the Queen Mary, the King George V, never a problem. On the Manxman, for some reason, the steersman and the pilot had to straddle the steering shaft. Now, I wouldn't have liked to have been short of height. And you had this huge brass rod right up your chuffs, for want of a better expression. Right up your chuffs, you had this huge brass rod right up your chuffs because you had to straddle it. The shaft came out from behind and the steersman had to put the leg over and steer. And I'm sure it was the Manxman. Great big telegraphs as well. Fantastic. Super skippers. So I didn't actually. Positive vibes all the way. Poor man, sorry to hear that. So there we are. The Dafty there. Oh, don't worry, there's millions of Dafties. Very often, Shelley, when you do something as successful as Scottie McClue, people get a wee bit green-eyed monster, you know? In fact, I had to dump a guy. I had a guy begging me to befriend him. I befriended him. I published a picture of me a few years ago. And this guy comes and goes, oh, yes, here you are, showing off again. From a picture about 50-year-old. So I just dumped him. I just thought, sorry, we don't need this, China. Okay? And off he jolly well went because you don't need it. Guys, can everybody share, please? We need to get these numbers up. I want these numbers up, sitting regularly at 100. And it's up to you guys to tell everybody. Uncle Scotty says, Joseph Aitken, absolutely, Joe, top man. Positive vibes all the way. Sorry to hear that. When you were on in Scotland, it was legendary. Absolutely, Sherry B. It was just huge. Almost 250,000 per half hour was, I think, our highest record. That's the mushroom soup on in the pressure cooker. Anybody wanting a bowl of soup when it's ready in half an hour? Gordon Robertson, can you seriously make cream of mushroom soup in half an hour? I was a wee bit wary. Who has just hit the dollar sign and given me £2.90? Own up. You naughty, naughty, lovely, lovely person. Who else is going to match my donation? Jamie, somebody's just popped in £2.90. So there we are. But your donation is unmatchable. It's fantastic. So somebody must have clicked on the dollar sign. I've never seen that. So it's at Super Chat. Oh, here, I've got it all here. I'm gonna chat back to you. Look at this. Dinky-Doo. everybody, everyone, thank you. I'm on Super Chat for joining me. This is amazing. Thank you for joining me. Especially a massive thank you to Jamie. And who else has put that? Oh, for goodness sake, what are you all doing? To Jamie and all the beautiful people who have clicked the dollar sign and bought me a hot chocolate. You lovely, lovely people. Bought me a hot chocolate. B-O-U-G. Otherwise, Gordon Robertson, who's our resident grammarian, will be getting stuck in. Dinky-Doo, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Especially a massive joining me on this podcast. Joining me live on this podcast. You're all going to see this in a minute. Live on this podcast. Especially a massive thank you to Jamie and all the beautiful people who have clicked the dollar sign and bought me a hot chocolate. There, that's just gone up there. And I'm just going to put Dinky-Doo. Thank you, my lovely, lovely friends. That's beautiful. What a lovely, lovely thing to do. I'll find out who you all are, you know. Right. Shelley B. A while generation grew up listening to the various callers and your no-nonsense patter. When I suppose Scottie McClue is 28 years old in about 3 weeks' time. I was hired by the wonderful Mike Henfield, the managing director of Red Rose Radio, and introduced to Mike by the wonderful John Myers, who left us. He's still about. He hasn't left us, John. John passed away, but he'll never, ever leave us. He's around. Very powerful, big guy. Lovely, lovely man. The Steam Packet had some classic stuff, including The Lady of Man. Yeah. The Lady of Man. I mind sailing into Ardrossan on her last day in 1971. What a sight as she left. Steam whistle blowing. And am I not right that when the Manxman was being towed, she being towed out of Birkenhead to be scrapped? I'm sure they took the Manxman to Preston. And the others were all blowing their whistle as they passed, steam whistles. Now, the Isle of Man Steam Packet Company once got an offer. Who is giving all this money? Stop! Once got an offer from one of the big organ builders. I'm not sure if it was Willis's. Can't remember. Anyway, one of the big organ builders, I think, was working on the organ in Liverpool Cathedral, heard one of the big Manx steamers blowing her steam whistle and said, that's slightly off, slightly flat or slightly sharp. And the organ builders wrote to the Isle of Man Steam Packet Company and offered to put the steam whistle absolutely on pitch. And I think they got a bit of a flea in their ear for their trouble. They said, no, thank you. We'll decide. And what a lovely story, though. What a gorgeous offer. There's one for you, Ian Quinn. I tell you. Carrie here, I'm originally from Preston. Nice to hear the hometown mentioned. The Manxman was in Preston too. She was, Carrie. Was she not a floating nightclub? And she was all painted in dazzle paint. People said, oh, it's so sad to see the Manxman like that. Absolutely. Yes, the dear old Manxman. I did a last sailing into Preston in 1982, Preston Docks. Well, in 1992, John Myers, the late John Myers, the wonderful Mike Henfield, wonderful John Myers, the wonderful Mike Henfield, and myself all sat in we sat outside in a pub at the old Preston Docks. And that's when we worked out what we were doing with Scottie McClue. So there's a bit of history for you guys. I'm sure the Manxman will be there. Gordon Robertson, what are you doing? Sending 99 pence. My goodness me. Thank you. Thank you. Do you know this one? Who knows thank you like that? Who would use that? There we are. I've used it on many occasions. Who would use that? Thank you. There we are. Oh, yes, where there's talent, there will be jealousy. I'll tell you, and it's when it's at its most successful. They want to break it up. And the people that bought Scott FM, there was a lot of jealousy trying to get control of Scottie McClue. And I was very polite about it, but I didn't say to their management, look, if it wasn't for Scottie McClue, you would be here. You can't. Management must manage, That's one of the many things I loved about Big John Myers. He was a great manager as well. So there we are. So you are talking to a manager who understood talent. I've just found the thumbs up thing and the wee sticker things. Where did you find them, Gordon Robertson? Along the bottom there. Yes, Gordon, says Jamie. How much for the soup, says Jerry Nichol. Gordon Robertson, what are you flogging a bowl of cream of mushroom at? Do tell. If you've ever enjoyed Scotty's chat, surely it's worth a couple of quid. Absolutely, Jamie. I accept applause or derision on my merits. It is absolutely free to watch Scottie McClue live on here, as long as you subscribe, which is free, as long as you like the stream, which is free, and I leave it up to you if you want to click the $ or if you want to buy me a hot chocolate. Gordon Robertson, stop at £3.99. My goodness me. The steering post on the steam packet steamers was for autopilot navigation. Right. So was the shaft running from the autopilot to would it be a steam steering engine or a hydraulic steering engine? So was that running between what you would probably call the Iron Man? The Iron Man, do you like that one? The Iron Man and the steering engine. Now, was it steam or hydraulics? Because when I steered the Queen Mary II, she was very, very light, and it was a small wheel. And I was just a wee guy standing up. She had a beautiful platform you could stand up on. And, Captain Cameron said, I was taken up, and he said, can I introduce this young man to you, John? And I said, I saluted Captain Cameron, and I said, thank you, sir. And he said, give him a hand of the wheel. Beautiful, clear day, nothing else in sight. And Scottie McClue at the wheel of the Queen Mary II. The other one I got to steer was the Loch Fyne, and she had a big wheel. And she had a lovely, lovely man. Anything over, I think it's 100 tons, have to carry a pilot, a qualified pilot, and will fly the pilot's flag, which is half red and half white. And it's a small square flag, and you will see it flying from the mast of anything, I think, over 100 tons. Do you have to be 100 tons to be Lloyd registered, to be A1 at Lloyd's? And the Countess of Breadalbane, I'm sure she was something like 105 tons. And she had a pilot. She had a captain as well, Captain Morrison. Lovely man. And the man who was the pilot on the Loch Fyne, Leahy Gillis, a lovely Highland man. Leahy, an absolute gem. And he was the number one to Captain McCallum, to Dougie McCallum, fantastic, who was from Craignish in Argyll. Hold on a second, guys. The thing about all the captains, a lot of deep sea people came because I had 4 deep sea captains in my family and 1 chief engineer. So there we are. Fantastic. Guys, thank you so much for your generosity. It really is beautiful. So there we go. Ian Quinn. So that was it. So we're going from the autopilot to the steering engine. Nice one, Gordon, says Jamie. He's getting every day to give him a clue, a couple of quid. Jamie Est, I've just found these things, says Gordon. I think Gordon's quite excited now. Guys, if you've just joined us, can you subscribe, please? You're watching Scottie McClue. We're live on YouTube just for you. This is podcast number 7. We're new to podcasting on YouTube. This is number 7. And you're very, very welcome. We're on for a couple of hours at 8 o'clock every night during the lockdown. And then after that, we'll see what suits. Pardon me. My lasting memory of Douglas is 7 red funnels simmering away, awaiting departure. How did they do it? And some of the seas. I mean, I managed to come to terms with motion sickness. I once felt it. I mean, I walked on the boats all the time. And the old Granny Kempock, the deck would go up and down. She was beautiful. These MFVs, any Scottish fishing vessel of the old wooden design, beautiful to look at and fantastic to sail on. And they can cope with any sea. And as an old friend of mine, he said, when he was wee, he used to go on board and you never knew fear. You couldn't know fear. And a lot of the old fishermen couldn't swim. Well, somebody said, you know, John, you'll need to learn to swim. What if you were in the water? If you got thrown in, it would just prolong the agony. So brave. The only thing that's actually tougher than a fisherman is a fisherman's wife. So there you are, guys. Lovely to have you all with us. If you've just joined us, a very warm welcome. You're watching Scottie McClue, the world's top broadcaster and the first lord of the internet. We're broadcasting live on YouTube just for you, podcasting. This will be uploaded later, of course, and we will listen to our clip of the week. I've got a special one for you. Scottie McClue, Dinky-Doo, everyone. Gosh, this is just my message getting to all of you now. Well, getting back to me. Dinky-Doo, everyone. Thank you for joining me live on this podcast. Especially a massive thank you to Jamie and all the beautiful people who have clicked the $sign and bought me a hot chocolate. I thank you. I didn't know about the $sign. So there you are, super chat. Dinky-Doo, says Scottie McClue. That's me. Hello, Scottie. I'm back after having my dinner. It was some lovely leftover steak from yesterday's dinner in wraps. That'd be beautiful. Fantastic. Welcome back, J-Dog. Soup only takes 30 minutes in a pressure cooker. I'm never sure about pressure cookers. I remember my father saying, come on, we need to go out. There's been a problem. And it was a friend of his. The pressure cooker had blown up and the stew was hanging from the ceiling of the kitchen. And the daughter was going, I'll just take mother a wee pill. She's quite shocked. So there we are. And the stew was all over the kitchen. What a mess. I don't know what would have done that. And that was one of the early pressure cookers with the 2 lids that you screwed down. Gordon says, mince, tatties and veg all in the pressure cooker. Takes 13 minutes. Wow. Are you a microwave man, Gordon Robertson? Emily Stables, what are you doing? My goodness me, £4.99 with a lovely keep it up. Mwah! Emily Stables. That's what you deserve. There we are. And we're social distancing, so I can give you a kiss on YouTube, provided you would appreciate that, of course. So there we are. We're social distancing. Gordon, get yourself an Instant Pot. Game-changing. Now, Emily seems to know about this. Emily, can you tell us more about an Instant Pot, please? Because this is very much a place of learning. So there we are. Fantastic. I love mushroom soup, says Emily. There we are. Emily, where are you watching from? What part of the world? I mean, is it Scotland, the west of Scotland, east of Scotland, Guildford? We have a lady on from Guildford right now. Emily, what's an Instant Pot? Says Gordon Robertson. So there you are. Fantastic. Flung a boot. What are you doing? £1.99. You've just bought McClue a hot chocolate. So there we are. And I'll send you, we're social distancing, so would you like a kiss as well? There we are. One for Emily and one for Flung a Boot. Wonderful, naughty boy. £1.99 indeed. Generous, 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 beautiful people. I didn't know about this dollar sign. I'm going to gorge myself on the hot chocolate. Fantastic. Hello, Scotty. How are you tonight? Says the wonderful Craigo. I hope you're well. You're looking great. We're feeling great, Craigo. Big, big stuff happening. Number 7 podcast tonight. What about that? Number 7 podcast. It's just incredible. And the word is out. Now, can you all click about on the page? It just says about, and at some point read the biog. And that will tell you what we're about. I can read it to you. I've subbed to Emily. Thank you for that. Hey, Scotty, just subscribed, says Bokaji. Bokaji, thank you for subscribing. We want everyone to subscribe, right? Because I am going to build this. This is the future. Television, radio itself will all start to pale. Podcasting is the future for Scottie McClue. I still get lovely calls from good, sensible, switched-on radio people saying, you know, I'm going to get you on, Scotty. We're working on it. And I love that. I thank you. But this is also the future, guys. And although it might be small numbers just now, just watch this stream grow, because that's what we do. It's all about you. I am but a catalyst. Okay? Right. The Lad of Man. Ian Quinn, I'm going to take some poetic license and correct your predictive text. I'm at the Aqua, right? I'm at the Aqua. There we go. I'll give you a tune in a minute, guys. The Lady of Man steam whistle was given to a Liverpool factory for many years as a break time blow. It annoyed the Mersey pilots who thought it was a steamer, so it was removed. I've got a joke for you. Lady, absolutely. Emily, it's an electric pressure cooker that I've got. It's got all the different settings. It's a Pressure King Pro, but I think we're talking about the same kind of thing. Yes, that's exactly what I mean, Gordon. I've got one too. It's amazing. I love my slow cooker too. Now, because you've all been so generous and clicked that dollar sign and sent old McClue a hot chocolate, I am going to play you, especially for Flung a Boot. Flung a Boot. What do we think? Oh, now, just because this looks beautiful, don't assume I can play it. But I'm going to try something, Flung a Boot, just for you. Just for thee, as we say in Yorkshire. Right. Did you like that? So there we are. I dedicate that to Fluggaboot and to Emily, who have kindly joined us tonight. Bless you. During the lockdown, watching old McClue streaming live on YouTube just for you, Dinky-Doo. There we are. Gordon Robertson says, Emily, you and me should do a Cook with Scotty evening. I think I told you about my dear old friend. Oh, no, I was going to tell that. Yes, that's exactly what I mean, Gordon. I've got one too. It's amazing. But I love my slow cooker. Yes, we did that one, didn't we? That would be brilliant, says Emily. The pilot's flag signified the master had the appropriate exemption for the district. The pilots on the Clyde steamers are quartermasters. Aha. It was my privilege to be quartermaster on the Waverley for a long time. Aha! So you are actually a seagoing man, Ian. That's the thing. We need to hear more about this. This is fantastic. Scotty, do you know what a microwave is? Watery leaf. I have one. I was trying to explain to my late mother, who's a lovely, lovely lady, and I was trying to explain to her how the microwave worked, but no, she wouldn't have it. So she used to put the potatoes in and stick it to about 9 minutes and stuff. Don't. Exciting stuff, Scotty. You deserve this podcast to go viral. Emily says, I am in beautiful, sunny Greenock. I know Greenock very well, Emily. I am free Greenock. It's the box, says Gordon Robertson. Yes, one in the box for Emily and Fluggaboot. No rain today, Gordon, by some miracle. Maybe I'll put a lottery ticket on. Now, Ian, I'm going to tell my story. You will probably have heard it, but it goes like this. Very thick fog up the west coast of Scotland. Hang on, quick comfort break. Comfort break for McClue. Oh! I think at some point this will go viral. I think we can rest assured, because that's what we're going to do. Not only today, Gordon, by some miracle, maybe I'll put a lottery ticket on. Right, let me tell you this story. Very thick fog up the west coast of Scotland. Very thick fog. And all you could hear was... And then you heard whoop, 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 whoop. And that was all you could hear during this thick fog. And then the whoop, whoop and the whoop got a bit close. And this tannoy went. And it said, ahoy there, ahoy there. We are Her Majesty's destroyer, and we wish to make passage. We suggest you give us a wide berth. And this Highland voice said, ahoy there. We would suggest you give us a wide berth. Then you heard, whoop, whoop, whoop. Like the sound effects. And the voice said again, ahoy there. We are Her Majesty's destroyer. We suggest you give us a wide berth. Hey, ahoy, yes, of course. We suggest you give us a wide berth. And then it got a bit more desperate, and the master said, we are the Royal Navy, Her Majesty's Navy, Her Majesty's ship. We insist you give us a wide berth for safety. The voice goes, hey, we are a lighthouse. We insist you give us a wide berth for safety. Wonderful stuff. I just love that story. I think it's gorgeous stuff. But there you go. Jimmy S. Ray. Thanks, Scotty, says Vlogaboot. Did you like that? I dedicate that to you and to Emily. Joseph, Dinky-Doo, Joseph Aitken's giving us the thumbs up. Can everybody give us the thumbs up? And can everybody subscribe, like the stream, and share? And there is absolutely no obligation, but if you want to click the $sign or you want to buy me a hot chocolate, I would be extremely grateful, because I'll buy some advertising as well, you see. I want to hear about the sailors. Scott and Robertson. Hello, sailor. That's really convincing foghorn sound, Scotty. Oh, Emily, you're a man of many talents. Can I do a foghorn? Scotty can make foghorn noises from both ends. Gordon Robertson, raise your game, sir. We have a lady on here. Several ladies. There we are. Joseph Aitken, Bokaji. Thank you very much, Dinky-Doo. Everybody share. Let's do more sharing. Come on, we need to share. Share. And can you all let everybody know? Can you tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 about Scottie McClue live on YouTube just for you, podcasting each night at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Be there or be square. There we are, Emily sending through wonderful stuff. Proving the oldies are goodies there, Scotty. Oh, yes, you'll have heard that one a few times. And I was sailing on the Mary in 1972 in thick fog when she hit the American tug Natick. Now, was the Natick? Captain McCormick swore it was my introduction to the words. Well, I think he would, yes. Absolutely, fog is a nightmare. Can I tell you, my grandfather, who was a master carpenter on the Crinan Canal, one of the old canals, wonderful, old Neil, lovely man. He lived till he was 89, and I knew him very well. And there was an icebreaker on the Crinan Canal called the Conway. And the Conway had been built at, was it Napier, Shanks and Bell in, I think, 1899. And her hull was full of concrete. And she used to break, she was flat bottom, she used to ride up over the ice and break it in the canal, because, as you'll know, Ian, a wooden ship can be cut in two by ice. You know, it can just rip the planking. So the Conway would go and break the ice. And when they got rid of the Conway, they got another one called the Clyde Forth, which was a dredger from the Forth and Clyde Canal. And I think she was supposed to be ice breaking. But nothing really would beat the Conway. They broke her up on the beach at Ardrishick in 1965, I think it was, 64 or 65. And I remember seeing the concrete. My father showing me the concrete inside the stern of the Conway. But because the stern had been broken away. But what was interesting was the Conway was steam, and she had to go to Greenock. So my grandfather said he would go as fireman. He was a strong old boy. He used to say in his carpentry, you should get an inch at a rip, my boy. So with his big rip saw, every time he made a stroke of that, he got 1 inch of wood cut. Anyway, he was there, so he'd be putting on the fire, you know, I mean, lovely fires in the house and everything, and what have you. Anyway, he went as fireman on the Conway, and they took her to Greenock, and they heard the foghorn on the Cloch Lighthouse. And he said, I wonder what that is. Is it another boat? He said, no, I think it's probably cattle sails that are on. Wonderful stuff. Right, press on, McClue. Jenny Nicol, excellent. Thank you, Jenny. The collision was off the clock, absolutely well, yep. And then, I don't know, was it the Duchess of Montrose that grounded over at Cairn, I think, or Sandbank or something. The Duchess of Montrose grounded in fog, and the Hamilton tried to pull her off, but they couldn't. I'm away to see if my soup's ready, says Gordon Robertson. Right, Gordon, you enjoy that. Lovely to have you with us. What's your thoughts on events in America, Scotty? Joseph, I am shocked and saddened because this is a return to, this is taken, I feel that we've been taken back years in the world. I feel that Brexit in this country is taking us back to the Stone Age, certainly back to 1940, when we were on the verge of surrender, right? So stuff like that. And I am so saddened by the relationship between the president and the people of the United States of America. To me, it's just bad news. And it's very bad news. And of course, to have riots, I believe the officer that was there at the time has been arrested from that point of view. So I believe. Craigo says, Scotty, I really love your beard. It really suits you. Shall I keep it? Edward the 7th, Scotty the 1st. 3 minutes to go before the soup's ready, says Gordon Robertson. Gordon Robertson, what you like? I've just heard you say she was flat-bottomed. If that's a Paisley woman you're talking about, I think I know who you're meaning. Gordon Robertson, raise your game, sir. So there we are. Wonderful stuff. I can remember hearing a conversation. Yes, she had to get her bottom scraped, and then we slapped a coat on it. We slapped a bit on it. That was it. And it was anti-fouling we're talking about. Because what we used to do with the likes of the MFVs, you could put them up on the beach of a Friday night. You had to work with the tide, so you might have been out there on a night like tonight, through the night, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. The tide would go out, we'd beach them, and then get a hoe as a scraper. Hoe. And we'd just take the muscles off her, because, as a lot of you might know, the muscles hang down, and we used to say, her bottom's dirty, she's slowing down. I just heard that. Emily's having a good laugh here at all the nonsense. Because there's a lot of nonsense and a lot of serious stuff. Yes, Scotty, you should keep the beard, says Craigo. I thank you, Craigo. Very kind of you. Guys, if you're watching just now, can I have a thumbs up, a like? Where do we get the likes? Tell everybody where the likes are, please. I'm going to do some more sharing, and you can all do the same. That would be outstandingly good. It would just let everybody know that we are live right now. Thank you so much. Thank you for your kindness. I'm going to do some more super chat with you in a minute, because I've just seen all that. This is fantastic. We're working off super chat all the time, but I'm just seeing it for the first time beside me on the device. Get retweeting on Twitter. Yes, I will, Jamie Est. I'll go on there. Guys, get retweeting. I don't know if that was for me, Jamie, or for the assembled company. I'm going on to Twitter, and I'm going to start retweeting. Can you all do the same? Does anybody want to give me a call? So there we are. Flung about, you might want to give me a wee call here on the Skype and let us know what is what. Because would you believe it? We've just got over half an hour to go, guys. And we were going to have Mr. Martin, weren't we? So there we are. We're going to have, I think it's important we have Mr. Martin tonight. And we can hear that call, that particular call. I have to sign in. For some reason, this wants me to sign in all the time. Phone in, Craig. Yes, go on, get retweeting. Scotty, have you ever been to Disney? Emily, I haven't. I'm a wee soul, really. I've just worked my life away since I was 12. Ian Quinn says the Conway was a splendid wee craft. The Clydeforth was flat-fronted dredger. She looked similar to the Puffers. Yeah, she was fine. I assume they had a big diesel in them, a Gardner or something. The Conway was steam, of course. And I used to be taken on board the Puffers as a wee boy. What about Butlins, says Jamie? No, I haven't stayed at Butlins. I remember somebody telling me I should go and be a redcoat at Butlins. And my friend was telling me about his experience as a redcoat. And he said, the biggest riddy he'd had, the biggest red face as a redcoat at Butlins was one afternoon they'd made an announcement like, ding, ding, Heidi High Campers, you know. Anthony has joined us. Hi, Scotty. Sorry, I was away there. I'm back now. And he was a redcoat, and he said, the announcer said, ladies and gentlemen, pogo sticks will be available at the Pogo Stick Hut down on your left. Right? So they'd all gone down there. And he said there was two of us there. And there was this massive, massive crowd queuing up. And this hut was locked. It was locked. And we didn't know where the key was. And of course, they were anxious. They were wanting every day, all the time. And they would be probably too young and inexperienced. They would be actors. They were actors. But they'd be too young and inexperienced to actually say, ladies and gentlemen, can I just have your attention? We're actually locked out here, so we'll be a few minutes. So there we go. They didn't want to say that right. I'm just going to sign in here, guys, and then I can take a Skype call because we had one last night who'd had a light refreshment. We know who it was. It was Professor Numpty, who's a bit of a gent, really. Oh, Scotty, how are you? Giving it all that. Scottie.McClue, press next. Signing in, guys. So there we are. This should be all right. Oh, my goodness me. What am I to do if I be an old maid in the garret? Have you ever heard that one? That's an interesting word, garret, attic. So there we are. Emily says, I've just had a call from the Chinese to say they've dropped my dinner and it's going to be late. Oh, no. We'll have to keep you entertained. Right. The Skype's ready, guys. If anybody wants to Skype me, Scottie.McClue, do please. So there we are. Clap tonight in memory of the dropped Chinese. Yes. Silent applause for Emily Chinese, which has been dropped and will be late. There we go. That's my mushroom soup ready. It's very tasty if anyone wants a bowl. You're welcome to pop in. I'm just off the Great Western Road. The house with the dirty windies. You can't miss it. Oh, I think you could miss it. There's a few with dirty windies round there nowadays. Oh, do you remember people say, oh, the people before were so perfect. When I stayed in the flat, the old lady downstairs, she'd bought the flat in 1942. And she said to me, she said, I'm not being rude, but the people that used to stay here, they were posh. Oh, not being rude. As if to say, I wasn't. Your dinner was in there as well, Jamie. Says. Ian Quinn, quartermasters or pilots, the Clyde steamers were great knowledge men who stayed with the same steamer. Hang on. For years, the captains may change. The quartermaster was there for a valuable resource for experience. I can remember, I won't say what vessel or who it was, obviously, but I can remember that one of the chief officers had taken over one of the steamers. And she normally came in at the back of 4 o'clock. This was 20 to 7. And he was trying to get her alongside the pier. And he wasn't managing it. It was really quite a struggle. And then you had a glass break on the belting. And somebody leaned out a porthole where the bar and smoke room was and shouted up, come on, for God's sake. You've been at this all day. No wonder we're late. How embarrassing's that when you're approaching the pier? There we are, a wee bit of chat from the sidelines. I might take you up in that garden sewing as my dinner's AWOL. My wife pulled me up yesterday for how I hung the washing out, says Joseph. I didn't know it could be done wrong. However, apparently this is a thing. Well, what they used to say, women can be quite bitchy when they get into their stride. I'm sure men can as well. I don't want to sound sexist in any way. But women can definitely do the lines. I mean, I've heard some very interesting chat come out of a woman's mouth. And they used to judge people when they arrived in the area, in the tenements. They would judge you if you did your step. To what standard did you do your step? When you swept the close because it was your turn, did you sweep down the stairs or did you leave it? There were leaves coming in, mind, open, close. And then she puts out an awfully poor wee washing. Because your experienced woman, like say this Steamy, they put the washing out in order. So you got all the sheets, the blankets, the husband's smalls. The wife didn't put her smalls out in case somebody robbed them or were looking at what she wore. You know, she'd put something a wee bit fresh, if you get my meaning, on the line, fresh, you know, on the line, then shocking, the pair of them. I'd Skype you, but I think the mushrooms might have been a bit on the magic side. Is it magic mushroom soup? So it depended on the washing you could put out. You could put out a poor wee washing. There you go. What is that like, I ask you? Guys, more sharing, please. There we go. I'll just do another tweet. And what I think we might do, if everybody's up for it, how has our tweet fared? I'm just looking to see how our tweet has fared. Oh, there we go. And we'll just retweet it. Fantastic. Lovely. Good. We're getting the measure of this. We're getting the hang of it, guys. I bow to your knowledge, Scotty. Oh, Joseph. Listen, knowledge is free on here. It is not a problem, I tell you. You should Skype me, Gordon, and have a wee chat. That would be lovely. If anybody wants to Skype, it's Scottie.McClue. I'll have a wee light one of these. Why don't we listen to Mr. Martin on YouTube? Okay, guys, I'll get Mr. Martin up. I think this would be a nice night to hear Mr. Martin. So, Scottie McClue talks to Mr. Martin. Right? So I'll put that up. Hang on a wee second. Nobody Skype just now, because I'm going to borrow the speakers. What a setup. This is real steam-driven stuff, this. Right, so we've got that. Scottie talks to Mr. Martin. I'll have a look at that. And we'll see Mr. Martin calls in on night 1. So I think this would be a good night to hear Mr. Martin. Right, very, very important. Très important, I say to you.
Grammatically correct, but it's wordy and hard to read. It underlines the writer's message, and the word choice is bland. Grammarly's cutting-edge technology helps you craft compelling, understandable writing that makes an impact on your readers. Much better. Are you ready to give it a try? Installation is simple and free. Visit Grammarly.com today.
Right, so there we are. We'll just have a quick commercial break. And that's going out there, fantastic. And then we will have Mr. Martin.
Mr. Martin, hello. Hello. Right, listen, I've been listening to your show. Yes? And quite frankly, if you don't mind me saying so, it is the worst program I have ever heard on the radio.
And you listen to the radio.
Yeah, well, I see, my sister, I'm stopping at my sister's at the moment.
Yes.
And let me tell you this. She said, have you heard this program? So I've told her, and I'll tell you what, it is a disgrace.
Well, I'll tell you.
And I'm going to complain about the way you put people up.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you something, Mr. Martin. I am surprised.
Yeah, Mr. Martin.
Yeah, all right. I'm surprised that your sister can put up with you because you're an obnoxious old fool.
How dare you?
You're an obnoxious old fool.
I want an apology of you.
You get nothing like an apology of me.
I have been in this business.
Mr. Martin, you're an obnoxious old fool. Now, have we got that straight?
You are despicable.
I don't care.
I want an apology of you, and I want it now.
Apology, because I have nothing to apologize about to you.
You know, I just cannot believe this.
Well, you got to start believing it, because I'll tell you, it's time you pinned back your luggles, Mr. Martin.
You know, I just can't believe it. I am 72 years of age. I've been in the war, and I'll tell you what, I've never had to put up with complete idiots like you. Now, if you want to apologize or not.
You have spent the last 50 years of your life trading on the fact that you happen to be in the war.
Yeah, have you ever been in one? Have you ever been in one?
Were you a cook or something like that, eh?
Have you ever been in one? No, you haven't, because people like you see, wouldn't dare go in one.
I may well have been in the war.
No, you have not.
Oh,
because if you've been in a war, you would know how to speak to someone like me.
What do you mean speak to someone like
I'll tell you what, I have come up from England. To listen to this utter claptrap. I can't wait to go back.
Mr. Martin, we'd all be obliged if you'd go back to England. I'm very sorry for your poor sister. I've walked all over the place. What do you mean where I came from? That's none of your business.
Are you going to apologize or not?
No, I am certainly not going to apologize.
I am going to write.
You're right.
I'm going to write.
You're right, sir. I don't do you like me.
I am.
All right.
I'm going to, and I want an apology.
Write to me, okay, and I'll let you know.
This is your last chance. I'm going to give you one chance.
Yeah, well, you give me as many
one more chance. And if you don't apologize, you are going to be in serious trouble.
All right, yeah, we've heard all that. Is this what you used to give the Germans during the war?
What I gave the Germans? See, you grew away, you. Like a lot of Scottish people who run away from the enemy. People like you. I see, I've lived with Scottish people. I've been in the army with Scottish people. I tell you what, the Scottish people are a race that are frightened of war. And people like you, see, you're on your own mouth. And yet when people are there putting on a point of view to you, it's quite plain in my mind that you're frightened of hearing the truth. So you cut people off. And that's you. You're a coward.
How dare you talk to me like that? I'll tell you something, Major.
Right? Well, you see, you can't.
All for me. Owing you an apology. You owe the listeners to this radio station one massive apology.
You always have to.
You're a coward. You see, it's on your life. A trench like you. You've never seen a trench in your life. The only trench you've ever been in is one that you've fallen into because you've been so pissed. I'll tell you something. Listen, look, I'm not going to go.
I'm the Scotsman I've ever known. You're all mouth.
I'm not going to take any more of this from you, all right, Major? Now, you're right to who you like, right? I'm a very, very busy man. I am a very, very busy man, and I don't have time for any more of your crap. Right, I've sorted him out.
Oh, dear me. Was I right or was I wrong, guys? So do tell. It's entirely up to you, but there we are. What do we think? My goodness me. Right, back to Scottie McClue. That was our feature tonight on podcast number 7. Mr. Martin, wonderful, and it's very appropriate that we play it tonight, I can tell you. If you've just joined us, folks, and you're wondering what on earth's going on in your YouTube, you're watching Scottie McClue. And Scottie McClue has got to get through. And we're live on YouTube just for you, and we're saying Dinky-Doo. That's what it's all about. And we're here from 8 o'clock sharp through until 10 o'clock every night during the lockdown. All right. This is just podcast number 7. Thank you for having us on. I'm going to take to the super chat here to thank you all because I can see that we've got that. Gordon's laughing. This was from the radio station days. These idiots are at the wind-up. Mr. Martin's a real nasty man. Is this Scott FM? Yes. That was live on Scott. He just called me one night on Scott FM. I never liked Mr. Martin. He was very crabbit. Crabbit's a great word. What a fabulous word, Gordon. So there we are. What a relief. Apologise, Scotty. No. Do you think I owe Mr. Martin an apology? Tell. Right? Come on and say. Let's get it here. All the best to Dinky-Doo until tomorrow. Finished with engines until then. Finished with engines, Ian Quinn. Finish with engines. Finish with engines, sir. There we are. Absolutely. And we'll hear her running down as she's a diesel. We'll pull the big lever and she'll go, yeah. If it's steam, a little rev counter will go back to 0. Tremendous. Guys, what a fantastic night. ABC says, can we see your setup, Scotty? There's not much to see, really. It's just technology. Emily, what did you order, says Gordon Robertson. Emily, I think Gordon Robertson is going to see if he can replace your Chinese with the mushroom soup. Lol, says ABC. Thank you, ABC. Yes, Scott FM. Gordon, Emily's saying, Gordon, I ordered chicken in OK sauce with fried rice, and they've dropped it. That, Mr. Martin, is a real nasty man, I shall tell you. So there we go. Ha ha ha. We need live calls on this. Yes, well, we can. ABC, you can call me on the Skype now. We can take live calls, but what I can't do, I need to have trusted people. I can't just take them off the street, so to speak. Don't know what station, but Mr. Martin phoned Scott FM at least twice. Yes, we might hear call number 2. So there we are. Imagine having the cheek to talk to Scottie McClue like that. Did he ever write in a complaint? Well, what I used to do, Gordon Robertson, I would put a funny voice on when somebody phoned. They would say, Scotty, we have ladies on the phone. She says she wants to complain about your show. I would say, let me speak to her. So I would go on and I would say, can I help you? It's the producer here. And she said, oh, you sound like him. I said, no, we all sound the same here. It's a house style. And she would talk to me and I said, well, what you do if you can write in and that sort of stuff. And I would tell her to write into. He said, if you can write, so we get it right, if you can write to Scottie McClue. All right. And I said, because then we'll know what program it is. Then I would get the letter and you could rip it up for the big bosses saw it. All the best to Dinky-Doo until tomorrow. Finish with engines, I say. How are we doing for time? Oh, we haven't had a tune for you. What would you like? Would you like a wee number on the organ? Do say, and we shall see what we can get for you tonight. Excellent stuff. Guys, what an amazing night it has been. Right, I'm going to write to you. I'm going to write to Ian Quinn. All ra best, Ian. Yes. And thank you for a fantastic input to the show. There we are. Right, all our best, Ian, and thank you for fantastic input to the show. There we go. And somebody asked me the other day, said, why do you capitalize every word, Scotty? And I said, because every word I say is important. That's why I capitalize every word. There you are. So that's just gone up, guys. I've done a bit of talk there. Fantastic. Now, do you like the featured, if we have a featured YouTube, do you like that? So there we are. Emily says, Scotty, can I get a twinkle, twinkle, little star for our newborn twins? All the best, Ian. Thank you for a fantastic input to the show. That's just come up. Of course you can, Emily. Do you want it on the pipe organ or the piano? Right? We can decide. Do we play it on the pipe organ or the piano? What about a Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star on the pipe organ? Straight off, full breathe at the end there for you. There we are, none of your nonsense. Excellent. And I send that with great warmth and love to you beautiful people, and love to the wee ones. I am so delighted. Congratulations. I say that is just absolutely fantastic. Cheers, Ian and Carrie. Dinky-Doo to you both. Ian and Carrie, I hope you've enjoyed tonight. The pipe organ. So there we are. I just got back from walking the dog. Did you miss me, says Jerry Nichol. Jerry, of course. We miss everyone if they go to walk the dog, but the dog does need to be walked, and the dog comes first. So there we are. Excellent, because McClue's going to be podcasting now until you all say, enough! Right. Scotty, I believe there are a lot of camera sites on the internet. Would you consider streaming on some of them? I believe you can make a lot of money. Well, we're not out to make a lot of money, Gordon, but, I don't know what you mean by camera sites. We're on camera now. So there you go. I can remember just having a quick comfort break there. Dinky-Doo Ian Quinn, a great recommendation, says Ian. Ian, I thank you. Up in Bishopton, Ian and Carrie. Lovely, lovely people. And we send love to Bishopton during the lockdown. So there we are. Can remember you used to have a fabulous, fabulous wee pub in Bishopton called the Golf Inn. Oh, lovely, lovely. Good evening, sir, says James Bauer. Good evening, James. Dinky-Doo. And you also had the Bishopton Hotel, I remember that. And is anybody old enough to remember the East Bank Hotel at Langbank? That was it. It went on fire when I was a wee boy. I remember on a summer's day. They were desperately sad. Lovely big mansion. Good evening, sir. Good evening, James. Lovely to have you with us. I hope all is well. Did you pass on my fondest regards to your workmates? Very important. I'm on the water myself. McClue's always on the water. There we are. He's been out in the water there. There's a Facebook group called The Land Called Scotland. Join that and share your page in there. They will absolutely love your chat. Thank you, Emily. So there we are. Leaf Lee says, the Golf Inn is now the Co-op. Oh, there you go. Well, it was a fabulous pub. They did real ales. And, it was in the days when you could have a couple of beers on your way. That's gone now, of course, and probably quite sensibly, but they did really ill. And there was nothing better on a hot summer's day than to pop into the golf and see Eric and James and all the lovely people there and have a glug, 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 glug. Beautiful. They did it so well, really professional. There we are. Am I right? Scotty, what's the lovely restaurant at Bishopton, the Seafish Place? Well, there's one at Langbank. There's a lovely one at Langbank where I got invited for afternoon tea. Emily, if you're in that group, can you copy the Lily? I think a wee bit of predictive text there. Copy the URL to this YouTube broadcast and copy and paste the link. Lovely. Thank you. Oops, I think the mushrooms are kicking in. Oh, Gordon. Hope you're well, Scotty. Fiona. Lovely to have you with us. Excellent stuff. and Kabrahau Hakamachi. I've shared in that group for you, Scotty. Thank you, Emily. Very, very much appreciated. I've just done it, Gordon, says Emily. It's wonderful. Coast is at Langbank. Great views, says Ian. Beautiful, lovely, lovely restaurant. Highly recommend it. Yes. Coast at Langbank. Afternoon tea. I get invited to these places. Scotty, could I invite you somewhere? We'll meet between Greenock and Glasgow. All right. Do you want to meet in Paisley, or I could come down to Greenock? Because I'm quite often down there. There's a restaurant in Langbank. I'd quite like to discuss some business with you. As soon as you hear that, somebody's got something, could you open our store for us? As anyone noticed, whenever you drive by, it's always full. Doesn't matter the time of day. Fantastic, Emily. Lovely, lovely idea. Langbank. Of course, the Finlayson estate at Langbank. I knew the old general who lived in there. He was still there when I was a wee guy. Whoops. A fan meet-up at the coast, Jamie. Fantastic. Scotty. I don't know. Do you guys think at some point when all this lockdown is over, we could maybe do a small evening with Scottie McClue and maybe have just a small door charge and we can do Q&A sessions or stuff like that? You're making me hungry with all this restaurant talk, says James. It's nearly news time. I'll pop off now. I'll see you tomorrow. All the best. So there we are. Fantastic as well. Good evening, Scotty. Nice to hear you, says the wonderful Ian Stewart. Lovely to have you with us, Ian, and thank you for joining us. This is podcast. I'm just seeing the time. My goodness me. We've got about 5 minutes. Good evening, Scotty. Nice to hear you. Of course. Where's your favourite place in Scotland, says Emily. Oh, Emily, that is a huge, huge question. I adore all of Scotland. Crinan, Kilmartin, Lochgilphead, Ardrishaig, Tarbert, Campbelltown, Girvan, Pitlochray, Dunning, Stonehaven, Aberdeen, Dundee, Elgin, Lossiemouth, the Trossachs. Somebody's saying here, I'm getting prompted, the Trossachs, beautiful Lochcatran, A Summer's Night, the Sir Walter Scott. Oh, Emily, I haven't been to Harris. I haven't been to Lewis. I didn't make it to Skye. I had to come back because we stopped off at some restaurant and got kept. So there you are. Dornoch, Golspie, Balachulish, Tobermory, Iona. Iona's very precious, Emily. Glasgow. So there you are. Very, very important. Greenock, Gourock, Inverkip, Weems Bay, Roseneath, Kilcreggan, Helensburgh. Ah, dear, so difficult. Sounds like a train announcement, says God. I love the train announcements downstairs. Let me finish my Adam's Ale. Do you remember on the old BBC Home Service, you used to always hear, "This is the BBC Home Service. And now the news. Dot, dot, dot. BBC Radio News at 10 o'clock. Right, you used to get that sort of sound, right? And if you were down south, I can remember trying to hear, I was going from Waterloo Station out to Reading in Berkshire, and the announcement was something like this.
The 5:15 for Reading is leaving now at platform 4. Calling at Staines, Ascot, Fortier, Shaw, Fenner, Stone, Rockingham, Surrey and Reading.
And I thought, I don't know what platform that's at. I don't know where it's going. Airdrie, says Fiona, fantastic. You could get a job in the Central Station. Thank you, yes, appreciated. Harrison Lewis is a must. You're missing out if you don't visit. People say, what's Scottie McClue doing these days? I think he's announcing at the station. Next time you're up near Loch Catron, take a wee drive down past Loch Venacher. There's a cafe called Venacher Lochside, and they do the most amazing Cullen skink. It's incredible. I love Cullen skink. Harris, certainly, yes. Yes, absolutely. Predictive text, Emily, we get this all the time. Of course, the predictive text. Guys, are we done sharing? Thank you so much for all your kindnesses tonight. Thank you for those that bought me a hot chocolate. Whoever has McClue as the market, Fiona, you're quite right. Hello, I made it here. Kareem, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just about to finish, but it's lovely you're here. The Dafties have gone, and the podcast is quite outstanding. Not because I'm on it, but because of the beautiful people who are joining us. It's just outstanding. So there you are. So is this different from Facebook, Kareem? Night and day. We love our Facebook, but night and day. Jimmy S. said, stay on longer. Emily, pleased to see someone else on here who pays attention to punctuation and grammar. Gordon Robertson, for all he can be a wee bit coarse when he's talking to me. Good night, sir, says James Barr. Good night, James. And sleep sweet dreams, sleep well. Scotty, get on Twitch. The comment section is much more interactive. You'll get notices when people subscribe. I do have a Twitch account, and it's Scotty_McClue. So there you are. Have the Star Wars Dafties gone? Yeah, they've gone. It's a different place altogether. I did get an A in my higher English, Gordon, Emily. Of course you did. You're quite brilliant. Quite brilliant. And that man of yours is just a genius. Scotty, it was good chatting. I'll jump on sooner next time. Do, Kareem, there are no sanctions. There's no punishment for being late to Scottie McClue's podcast. But you will be paying the price yourself, because if you miss a moment of McClue, you miss a moment of life itself. You see? That's it. So that's what happens there. Scotty, it was good chatting. Excellent stuff. Always lovely to hear you, Kareem. And we say thank you for joining us. Until tomorrow, keep safe all, says Joseph Aitken. Betty says, shall we stay on a little bit? Who wants a little bit more podcasting, and who wants me to stop right this second? I've just listened to the show tonight. It's certainly getting busier. ATB, all the best. Yes, Betty McIver. It's very, very busy. I think the word's out there, Betty. And if you can all read about on my Facebook there, if you can read about. Emily, says Gordon Robertson, the thumbs up. Guys, can we do lots of likes, please? I've only got 17 likes, and we've had maybe a couple of hundred people on tonight, something like that. So can I have a lot of likes? Can everybody watching now click like? And can everybody subscribe to the podcast and to the YouTube channel? Right? Just click subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. And thank you to those who have made a wee donation. There we are. I still remember the entire poem, Daffodils. I wandered lonely as a cloud. Yes, a host of golden daffodils. Do you know, I knew a very famous poet, Emily, called Norman, very, very big. It'll come back to me. He was a Cumbrian, and he wrote Sea to the West, Norman Nicholson. And I was very fortunate to meet Norman, who's a huge star in Cumbria and a great academic and a lovely, lovely man. And he did tuberculosis. And he was at a sanatorium. I think he was actually in Sladeburn, right up at the back of Lanarkshire. And Norman Nicholson, great Cumbrian, I'm sure there's a bust of him in Carlisle Cathedral. And Melvyn Bragg, Lord Bragg, who's a great Cumbrian as well from Wigton, he interviewed Norman, and it was a spectacular listen. I'm sure it was for the arts show that used to go out on a Sunday evening, right? The arts show on ITV. And Melvyn Bragg, a great writer himself, great author, he interviewed Norman Nicholson. And Norman, he just had the most incredible style about him. And he looked like William Wordsworth. And we went to hear Norman speaking in Wordsworth's house, his cottage, it's a big house, in the centre of Cockermouth, where Wordsworth and Dorothy used to stay. And Norman had said that a little boy on a bike had passed him and said, "Good afternoon, Mr. Wordsworth," because the locals got him mixed up with Wordsworth, although Wordsworth was a couple of 100 years earlier, or whatever. This was Norman. So look up Norman Nicholson, Sea to the West. I think you'll enjoy that. And a lovely poem about when his lungs still had a sort of rasp to them when he spoke, and it enhanced his reading of his poetry. So there we are, wonderful stuff. He was from right down the bottom of Cumbria, a little place called Millom, which was a mining place, and I think it had its own prison. Is there an HMP Hiverig or Havrig? Emily, you ought to Skype Scotty and recite the poem. Yes, Emily, come on and do your poem. Yes, says Jamie S. Stay on, loving the show. Shared on Facebook, Scotty, says Kareem. Thank you, Kareem. Scotty, will you let Emily Skype you, please? Of course, Emily can Skype anytime. The Skype is on, Scotty.McClue. Emily, come on and do your poem. Gordon, my boyfriend at the time, now fiancé, put it to a wee tune so we remembered it easily. Isn't that fabulous? I can't Skype. I look a mess. Well, we'll do it in non-vision. You don't look a mess, I'm quite sure. Covered in baby puke. Maybe not. Somebody tells me that if your child is not quite working with you, they can decide to shower you just when you're going out. You're all dressed up. You think, I'll just wind this wee one. Here we go, darling. There we go. It's quite interesting, isn't it? Just a voice Skype then, Emily. Yes, William Wordsworth. Kareem Zakaria. You generous, beautiful man. What are you playing at? He's just sent me £5. For goodness sake. Kareem's found his way over here too. I think everybody will find their way over, Gordon. What you've got to do, the one thing Scottie McClue does know about is building up his show. Because I've had to start from nothing. All that terrific hard work that went into Scot FM. My enemies, the green-eyed monsters, would be clapping with joy when I had to start over again. So there you are. But I've done it so many times in my career. Everybody said, Scottie McClue, that'll not last. We're in our 28th, we enter our 29th year in 3 weeks' time. Oh, just having, oh, for goodness sake, what's happened? We had a collapse. A complete collapse. Oh my goodness. What happened? The cameraman fell. We've had a collapse. Something's happened. I don't know what's happened, guys. I've just had a complete collapse of everything. So I don't know. Right, I'll try and sort it. This is when you earn your pennies, because it's not how you get into the mess. It's how you get out of it. A friend of mine said, no, never worry about getting in the shecht, Scotty. It's not how you get in it, it's how you get out of it. I see what's happened. We've lost a huge big gang socket. Just fell off the mixing desk. Oh my goodness me. Right, so Kareem Zachariah, thank you. I'm so full of praise. You people have been so beautiful to me tonight. You've all bought me a hot chocolate. I didn't know about clicking the $sign, but I did see there's a wee button there that says, buy me a hot chocolate. Right. Is this looking odd, guys? Have we got a terrible mess? Calamity. Who can tell me what that line is from? Oh, calamity. What line is that from? And who delivered it? What a mess, what a shambles, what an embarrassment. Could you imagine that being live on the telly? I did speak to some of the television companies. I said, I want you to do me a favour, put me on live on a Friday night for half an hour. And we're not starting anything new at the moment, Scotty. And you think it's such a shame that people can't just take a chance, just have the vision to say, Scottie McClue, he knows exactly what he's doing. We'll put him on the telly, and they would get a huge audience. But anyway, YouTube are going to be the beneficiaries of the Scottie McClue podcast during lockdown. So there you are. So tell everybody about it, folks. Tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 about Scottie McClue live just for you, saying Dinky-Doo. And can we all subscribe and all give me lots of likes, please? I am the first lord of the internet. I am the world's top broadcaster. I am the world's most humble man. What about that? So there you are. It's all there. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to say to Kareem, thank you, Kareem. Thank you, Kareem. Because I just found out tonight I can talk back to you. How amazing is that? More sharing, please. The only poem I know, as I was walking down the road, I saw a coo, a bull by God. I knew a couple who met over that poem. He was a young Church of Scotland minister working for the very Reverend Dr. George MacLeod, Lord MacLeod of Funerary, on the island of Iona, rebuilding the abbey in the 1930s. She was a local girl whose family, I think they ran the post office on Iona at the time. And he said out loud one night, as I was walking down the road, I saw a coo, and she finished it and went, "A boo, by God." And he turned round, and here was this lovely, lovely lady. And her and him became great friends of my parents, and I knew them all my life. So if any of you remember the Reverend Cameron Wallace and his lovely wife, Iona Wallace, fantastic. If you've ever had them, I know that they set up the Broom Church in Newton Mearns, and Cameron was also, he got the MBE, lovely man, and he also was the chaplain to the lower shipyards on the Clyde, which would be Scots and Lithgows and all that. He was the industrial chaplain to the lower Clyde. The Reverend Cameron Wallace and his lovely wife, Iona. They were also in Wishaw at one point, so somebody might remember them. And when I visited Iona, I was walking round the churchyard, the Abbey, and there I saw the grave of the late John Smith, who my mother taught, and also there was Cameron's grave as well, amongst the ancient kings of Scotland. Not that that would bother either of them, I tell you. That's all too true, Scotty. It's worse with two. Emily, fantastic. When you're just about to go out with your best suit on and you've spent the day washing it and ironing it, you say, I'll just win the wee one before we go, just before we put her down for the night. Fantastic. I remember a guy saying that he had the baby alarm on and he was just sitting down having a light refreshment and he was listening for his wee daughter. And then the baby alarm suddenly sounded as if it was like an earthquake. There was noise. And he went up, and the wee one had how can I put this? She'd done a number 2. She'd filled her nappy. And he said, I went into the room. He said, I did not change that nappy. It changed me. So that's all to play for, isn't it? Kareem, the lovely Kareem Zachariah. Gordon Robertson says, nice to see you on, Kareem, and that was very kind of you to give to Scotty. Scotty is worth every penny. Thank you, and keep up the good work. It's much appreciated and enjoyed. But Kareem, thank you. That is very, 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 very kind. Because as you know, I don't ask for anything. I will accept applause or derision on its merits. The show will stand and fall by what you lot think. You're all skew whiff, says Emily. I know, Emily. So after that, we had a wee accident there. I can remember in primary school, there was an awful smell came up in the classroom. And the teacher very diplomatically said, class, could you just listen for a wee moment? I would like to ask all of you if somebody has had a wee accident today, right? If somebody has had a wee accident today. And this wee boy put his hand up and we all looked at him and she said, yes, what's happened? And he said, it was on the way to school and Mummy made me fall at the bus stop. And she said, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It wasn't that kind of accident. It was actually maybe a wee accident with the bathroom. And I can remember it to this day. Oh, the smell. So there we go. That's not water in that glass, obviously, says Gordon. A behind-the-scenes tour, says Jamie. Did you get one? Thank you, Kareem, from Scottie McClue. My brother's girlfriend's called Iona. It's a lovely, lovely name. It really is. Scotty, is it night you do this, or are you doing 10 a.m. in the mornings anymore? Kareem, no, I did a quick pop-up on Friday, and I think about 1,000 of you have seen that. But I'm not doing the mornings. I'm going to build up the evenings on YouTube because I want to, get a sort of stability into the stream. We're kind of all over the internet at the moment on everything. The magic of this show is in the audience interaction. Jamie, the magic of all Scottie McClue shows is the audience. Think about it. It's because we are the people's show. Kareem, it's 8 till 10 p.m. now, says Gordon Robertson. So there we are. You get fed up getting up early. I never get fed up getting up early. Gordon Robertson, I am in the shower at 6 o'clock in the morning. So there you are. I don't turn it on but I stand in it. Thanks, Gordon. Scotty, you might know about these. Have you ever seen the wee picture plates at the tops of the drain pipes on the houses across from Tesco on Dalrymple Street? Now, across there, yes, I know these houses. Have they not got a little saltire up on the wall? My father used to make special plates. And I remember my father doing lead work along at St. John's. Was it St. John's Cathedral in Greenock, along in Union Street, just opposite the Watt Library. And my father would specially cut the lead in the shape of a cross when he was working in a church. Gordon Rum says, I remember someone had a wee accident. The Janny used to arrive with a bucket of sawdust and pine disinfectant. J-Dog says 2 hours, 15 minutes. I know. Time I wasn't here. My darlings, all I can say to you is thank you, my hearties, for a beautiful, beautiful show. You are great people. You're a wonderful, wonderful audience. Thank you for your kindness and your generosity and your donations, for buying me a hot chocolate, for clicking the $sign. Very, 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 very good of you. Thank you. Fantastic. Kareem says, Scotty, there's talk there'll be a second spike in July and a lot of deaths in August. People must be smart or it's game over. I know all these idiots saying, well, we're going to start reducing the lockdown. Sheer madness. And schools, I mean, if you think about it, the opportunity for an infection to take root in a school is massive. It's been good tonight. Better than the telly. It will always be better than the telly, because the telly doesn't have Scottie McClue on it, saying Dinky-Doo to all of you. So there you are. Fantastic. Right, I will push off. Thank you again. Take great care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay beautiful. Stay fabulous. Love being you. It's a great thing to be. Lovely to have all you beautiful people on tonight. Thank you very much to Flungaboot and Emily, of course, for your entertainment. Thank you to our dear friends from Bishopton. Good night, Scotty. Good night, Kareem. I'll sing you the goodbye song. Are we ready? Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Take care, everybody, as you go. Goodbye, everybody. Auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, and a cheerio. I'll play you out with the goodbye song. Right. No laughing now, Flungaboot. Here we go. The goodbye song from Scottie McClue on the Joanna. There we go. The goodbye song on the piano for all you beautiful people live on Scottie McClue's podcast number 7 on YouTube. I say to every single one of you, Dinky-Doo, good night, God bless.